Hello, Nerissa.
Hello.
Your name makes me want to sing with soul, right? Look at that background. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate that because I would love to be able to find out more about you and what you do, right? Even though I know, but for the purpose of those that are going to see this and hear this, just find out a bit more about what you do and what the journey was like to starting what you do, right? Um, because there's so many people out there, other practitioners that have missions, visions, whether their soul's leading them to do something in a bigger way and they're just scared, right? Or, we've been there, I've been
Yeah,
there.
I hear that.
So tell us, like, what are you qualified in, like professionally? What do you do again?
So I'm a child and adolescent psychotherapist.
Yes, yes, yes. Awesome, awesome. And so when we met before the start of this journey, right?
Mhm.
What was working life like, right? Did you have a business? Like, where were you, what was it all?
So I was and still am working in a primary school,
Hmm.
part-time and looking after my two little kids. That
Mm.
was me, mummy and psychotherapist.
Yes, 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 and wife.
And wife, yes, and what I can't forget wife, yes, and wife.
That's a job as well.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is. Oh, a good job.
Yes,
A good job.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So family and work life there. And
Yeah.
so what's your business called again? Is it Awakening?
Our roots,
Awakening
awakening our roots.
Roots. Okay, Awakening Our Roots. So tell me, like, was that vision within you already? What was it about? Like, what's Awakening Our Roots? Like, give me a bit of an overview about that. What's the mission there?
So the mission, sorry, for Awakening Our Roots is to help practitioners
Mm,
to be able to navigate race conversations inside and outside of the therapy room,
mm, mm,
and to hopefully after that expand
mm.
work with different people. But that's the mission at the moment, to work
Yes,
with
yeah.
practitioners. Yeah.
Powerful, absolutely powerful. So when we first spoke, right? When you first before you even knew about like me or like going on a journey or starting a bit like your own business and stuff, like where were you in this space of your idea, business? Had you had anything set up? Did you have like what was going on?
Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, nothing was going on. It was just a lot of, I think I was very angry, I guess, with
Mm,
what was going on in the world with George Floyd and just my own experiences to do
mm,
with racism. Um, and yeah, like having mixed race children,
mm,
for me, it was just like, I don't want them to have the same experiences that I've had. Something, I need to do something. I want them to I don't know, I want them to see their mother kind of doing something, to be a bit of a role model in that. And I'm not just saying, I'm angry, I'm upset. I'm doing
mm,
something to positively help people to understand that it's a problem for all of us. So let's work together to change this.
mhm.
Um, and yeah, so it's just been something that I've been thinking about for a long time, but yeah, just didn't do anything about it. I didn't really know how to
Right.
go about it.
Yeah.
And I joined loads of different groups, did loads of different trainings
Okay.
to learn more, but that was it. Like,
Mhm.
I didn't really think that I could do it by myself.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And in when you say do it, like in terms of building that into a business, building that
Yeah,
into a mission, and really
exactly.
seeing that to fruition.
Yeah.
And so, how long do you feel you had been like attending like the different trainings or workshops and having this idea? How long was that before?
Um, so I want to say at least a year.
Okay.
Um, it was shortly after I had my son.
Okay, yeah.
That I was just like, I need to, and I was on maternity leave, so I had the opportunity to just like do loads of training. So that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think even just from those, just speaking to different practitioners, like myself, like we all had the same kind of like, yeah, something needs to be done, but it was just us kind of working together as a community and not kind of thinking the bigger picture. You know, because obviously in this profession it's dominated by white females, so it was just like, you know, it can't just be us, like then what? So that was my kind of thought process, that something I need to do more, but how, I don't know. And then you came along.
how did that come along? Like what was that like for you in terms of, did you see the ad, like what?
Yeah, I was on Facebook, you know, just having the usual kind of, you know, scroll and it popped up and it's just like, oh yeah, I can listen to this. So yeah, I signed up for the masterclass, and there you were, as bubbly as you know, as ever, as great. And there was just a few things that you said, it was just like, I don't know, I think that planted a seed in me somewhere, that it was just like, yeah, that resonated a lot with my thought processes that I had that I have been having. And I guess from what you said, it just made it feel like I could. It's possible, like I could do something. And yeah, I just ran with it. Booked a call, and yeah, we had the conversation even more, even though I was doubting myself a little bit. You wouldn't have it. Like, you can, and yeah, and I'm doing it, so you know, it is possible.
Yeah. What were those doubts about? Like, would you remember what those fears and doubts were about at that point?
I know a lot of it was the time, because I was doing a lot of courses, and even so it was just like, could I fit in another like program? And then there was money, obviously, because I only worked part-time. That was an issue. That was it was a big thing for me at the time. And I guess just being the face of something, like me having to kind of publicly speak, I guess, about what it is that I want to share with people and help people to change. That was big, because I like to just work with one-on-one in the background, I guess, you know, in a little room, and, and not have to like present and be the face, and like, you know, so that was a big thing, that, you know, am I ready to do that? Can I do that? And it's still something that I'm still trying to, like, I know I can, but it's anxiety provoking in many ways. But
that size of the mission, because you know you've been called to really have some big impact there. And working through that. And so there was the time piece, there was the money piece, and there was like the visibility piece.
Yeah. I think out of all of them, that was the biggest one.
So, you know, you came on the journey of Discover a New Way, and really put a lot into action, right? And have your business set up, right? And you are working, you've got like a contract come through and everything. So you've done really, really amazing in that journey, and you've got a lot of clarity. So how did the visibility piece shift for you by going on that journey, right? By having that support, by having community, like, did that help? Could you have done it by yourself? Like, well, how did what helped with that visibility piece?
Definitely the community, knowing that there was others that had the same anxieties, I guess, because I kind of thought I was alone with that. Obviously you're never alone with anything, but I really thought that, obviously because of my program, and I think I just kind of put that as like, but no, like, you know, it's about Black issues, like, and I'm Black, you know, it's a big thing, but everybody's program is just as, you know, it's a needed support, you know, for everybody.
Yeah.
So I think I was trying to kind of put myself out there as being no, but you don't understand, this is, you know, but
right
to make it, you know, more bigger than anybody else's. And it's not, like, we're all in the same boat. And we all had the same, like, nerves about being visible. So it was so nice just to kind of hear everybody who's just like, yeah, no, I feel exactly like that. So it's not just me and my mission. Everyone feels the same. And we all kind of said how, you know, being present on social media talking about these things as well, it's a big thing, because you don't know how you're going to be received. And that's something that still kind of niggles. It's there at the back, like, you know, how am I going to be received, all of that.
Absolutely.
The community is, like, if it wasn't for that, I think it would be difficult. The isolation, I guess, because it is just you are your business. It's good to have others that can understand. we're all doing it.
Exactly.
We're all doing it differently, but we're all doing the same thing. We're all going in the same direction to create change.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things that often people sometimes say is, like, they didn't realize how much personal development happens on the journey. A few people are like, oh yeah, I kind of had an inkling, but they don't realize the depth of it, right? What was that like for you, to have the personal development piece entwined with it? Did you expect that? Did you think it was just going to be all business? Like, what?
I had no, like, you don't give anything away. At the beginning it was just like, oh, you know, you've got this 12-week, you know, like, I had no idea. And I feel like I have grown so much personally. Like, there's been, like, I still have personal therapy. So there were times where I was working through certain modules and it'd be like, oh gee, good thing I've got therapy. I can, like, you know, keep working through, because it kind of tapped into something that I hadn't. You think you've dealt with things, because obviously to get to where we have, you have to, but there's, you know, it's an ongoing thing, isn't it? So it was great, actually, to be able to kind of highlight again some things that I hadn't quite figured out and worked through enough. So
because of going to new levels, right? You know, new levels, new things come up. And it is you know, one of the things that is really important that not many business coaches really touch on, right, is the psychology, is the personal development and that mindset, because so many people have ideas and, you know, we can teach the strategy in terms of what to do, but if your identity, you as a person, don't rise up to be able to do that, you'd still have the visibility, visibilities, the money things, the time things, like not addressing those things that are gonna necessarily hold you back from implementing certain strategies. Huge, absolutely huge. So there was that. So there was the growth in the visibility. What kind of things did you achieve? Like, there was a few things that I remember you doing throughout the process, like that you might not have imagined yourself doing before around visibility, right?
I think even in the group, when we would meet, I'm one to just listen and, you know, try and, obviously, you know, I'm there, but, like, I don't really talk much, but I think I tried to really kind of, you know, use my voice, because that's the plan now. That's what I have to do. So that was really good to have that platform, I guess, to be able to do that. And to be heard, you know, because I think that's the fear as well, that you speak and no one's really listening to you and understanding what it is that you're trying to share. The community that we have, like, everybody is open-minded, which is what you want, and and open to kind of share their thoughts as well about what you're saying to them if they don't understand or whatever, like they need a bit more clarification, which is good, because it's a good learning for all of us, which has been really great.
Yeah, absolutely. And you had a talk, right?
Yes, I did. That was like, I remember, like, that was one of the first things I remember saying to you, like, I've got this thing coming up, and I think we had, like, in the modules, like, there were so many different things that needed to be done, but it's like, no, this is like my focus, because it's I need that to be right. So it was good to have that opportunity, like, in the groups, to be able to kind of talk. And when it was me doing it live, like this presentation, that I wasn't so kind of nervous, even though I was, but you know, it was good to have the practice.
Because things came your way, right? Opportunities were coming your way because you were aligned to the mission that you're here to do. And then and you was also doing the internal work and the external work to be able to move your vision forward.
There's something about that, though, isn't it? Like you said about the alignment, the fact that it was like a constant thing, it was like an everyday process, like being focused on this one thing, that you end up just kind of sending those vibes out, don't you? Like, and then everything that the things that you want are drawn to you, that is needed, which is what seems to be happening, which is so great.
Absolutely. And how did you see your relationship with money change, in terms of that mental relationship change from the beginning, right, to going through the process? What was that like? Like, where was it at the beginning, do you find? Like, what kind of beliefs did you find coming up? And how did it have to shift, or how was it supported to be shifted?
I've always thought that I've got a really bad kind of relationship with money, but the more, like, that module on money, actually, it made me realize that it's just that word bad, like that isn't how it is. Like, there's a reason why money and me operate the way that we do, why we communicate how we do, you know. And I think I just had to really understand where that came from, why it was serving me in that way, to kind of be how I because I don't feel like I am like that now, actually. I feel like I've moved on how I was with money. It was literally like easily gone. But now it's like, you know, there is more of a focus on, like, this is what I need it for. Let's, you know, where before it really wasn't. I kind of put everything on my husband, like, he does the money thing, and when I have it, it just, you know, it's not really my responsibility. I don't deserve to have it. That was my relationship, I guess, that I don't deserve to have money. But like, I don't see it that way at all now. It's so, I feel like I've grown up. Like, I feel, and I think that was part of what I said, actually, when we first met, that I want to become more of an adult, even though I know I am. Like, there's definitely some kind of immaturity mindsets that I have, and that was linked to money as well. That I feel like, actually, I'm growing up. Like, that's shifting those kind of thoughts and replacing them with, like, you know, what do you need the money for? And it's not just as before. It's good having these having looked into it a bit more than I would have before. It's been nice.
Absolutely. Because the breakthrough happened from the investment, right?
Yeah.
And then
for me. Where it's not normally, it's for other people. I would just like spend money on other people. Nothing was ever for myself.
Yeah.
So that was really important.
Yeah.
Actually, to make that connection that actually I'm doing something for me, something that means something to me, and it's not just for me. Actually, even though it's something that I want to do, it's to help others too. So it felt like it ticked both boxes and not just the one box that it would normally tick. So it was so much more fulfilling. I feel like now my connection with money, that I can, you know, that old mindset, it's still there, but I'm able to kind of connect the dots with how I want to be. So like, I'm definitely moving on, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes people find, you know, especially when we do the work around money and wealth consciousness, even how they communicate about it with their partners and like other people, like it just really changes and it shifts the dynamics in relationships in a positive way.
It's always been hard though, like, and I'm sure, I feel like in the group, just conversation about money as therapists, I don't know if it's just a therapist thing, or I'm sure it's not just therapists, but it seems to be, obviously this is our field, that whenever we talk about money, it is such a hard one to bring up. And obviously we all have our own relationships with it, but it's just interesting how like it feels like talking about race, or you know, talking about loss of a baby or something, you know, taboo type of conversations. Like money is definitely one of them. It's hard, but it's good that we're trying to kind of cut that down, and like let's deal with it.
And normalize it, you know, really being able to normalize that and move forward with that, you know. And even your relationship with time, right? Because time was another pressure point. How did you make it work? Where did you magic time from? What happened?
I've had help. I think that's so important, having the support, the network. So for me, my husband, who's been like, amazing. Bless him, he's taken on so much. So if it wasn't for him, like, I feel like he's had to play mummy and daddy at times. Like he's just had to do a lot of the child stuff, where I've just been like cooped up, like, no, I just need the laptop, and you know, I'm just here doing what I need to do. And he's done like, you know, the bedtimes and all that, and I've missed out, and it's hard. Because I feel like, you know, that's time that I'm not gonna get back. So I've missed out on that. But I know it's just a short period of time, and it's something that's going to benefit them. So I need to kind of, you know, don't see it as a negative, like it's a positive thing. But yeah, if it wasn't for the help, I don't know how I would have found the time to do what I've needed to do. So I think that's really important for anyone that kind of goes on this marvelous journey, that you need support, not just from the community that we have, but for themselves as well. Like
absolutely. And you voicing that though as well, right? Being supported to voice your needs and have that support.
Definitely.
That's a shift in itself.
Yeah, that can be hard. I know I find that hard. Like I need help. Help me. But yeah, like you're trying so hard to just do it all, but you know, you're just one person. Like we all need a hand at times.
Absolutely, right. And that's powerful in remembering that. I think as well as like academics and practitioners, like we can easily fall into a trap of I know it all, I figure it out. And as women, right, you know, we can fall into that. And so it is important to kind of be open to help. And I feel that that's really something I've seen you being able to do, being open to receiving, right? And being open to help and support. That is a big part of what's taking you from where you were to where you are now, and will continue to take you forward, is because you was always open, right? You was always aligning. You was always like, you saw the ad, you watched the ad, you know, you watched the masterclass, and then you was like, there's an opportunity to have a call. I'm going to jump forward, I'm going to do it, I'm going to receive information, I'm going to learn, I'm going to ask my husband for help and support. And you really took action, right? And I really do say that, like, it really does. Everybody's got visions that they want to create, but commitment into that vision is a big difference, right? Understanding that, openness to learning, right? And just growing on the journey is huge.
It is. No, I agree. And thank you.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure to journey with you and just see the expansion. I just absolutely love supporting you guys. Absolutely. You know, so I guess, like, thinking back now, at the beginning it was like, I'm gonna do this, right? Why, in your opinion, now would you like, yeah, this has been a great business investment, right? What how has it benefited your business, your ability to have created what you've created? Like, what would you say in a nutshell?
Do you know what? I feel like for me, I've met so many like different people, be it like from the community that we've had, but like I've worked with, like, you know, graphic designers, like I've met so many different creatives, and I wouldn't have before. And I think that in itself, like being able to connect with different people, you learn different things. Like I've learned so much about myself that actually I'm capable of doing a lot more than I thought I was. Like I've always had it in myself, like, oh, I'm not techie, I can't do anything, like, you know, but I've had to like dig deep and like, you know, do it. Like this is the process. Like you, like in the modules, obviously you were great and you kind of, you know, made it the step by step. So it was easy to, well, I say easy to follow. You know, I knew what I had to do. I just had to figure out a Nerissa way of doing it.
I love that.
Which was good because you know, I had to be creative in myself, like actually like how, because some of the ways that you were doing things, it's different to how I've gone on to do it, but I've done it, you know. So it's, I think that has just been quite life-changing actually, because now even I know I can use those skills in different areas now. It's great. But yeah, I think the main thing is like just the people, because like I said, it's just, I've met so many great individuals now, and it's just like it's like a family, really.
Absolutely. It really is. I absolutely adore our community.
It really is. Like, it's great. It is great. I love it.
Good. What would you I guess, you know, actually before we wrap up, like, when you made the leap of taking the decision of like, yes, I'm doing this, I'm moving my business forward in this way, I'm going to learn what it takes, I'm going to go all in. What was that like? Because I feel like there can be a misconception that it's like, yay, let's just do it. Jump in for joy all the way in. What was that like?
It was scary. It was really scary. And I can remember it like yesterday, actually, like sat down with my husband and we were just like, so we're doing this. He was like, yeah, like you've got this, like you can, like I believe in you. And it was just like, I needed to hear that. But it was just like, obviously the investment that we made, it was like the investment in me. So like, this is all on me. And it felt like such a huge responsibility that like, I can't fail. Even though there was no doubts in me that I would fail, but it was just like, gosh, like, you know, I can't. It felt like there was this thing, I know I'm not going to, I can't. You know, there's still that thing there. But the excitement was there too, because I can remember like we got the champagne, it was like, like, you know, it was so many different things, but I can't dismiss like feeling like this huge weight. You know, I was scared, like petrified. But yeah, it's the unknown, isn't it? Like, I had no idea what I was kind of stepping into.
Yeah.
But like I said, you don't give anything away. Like, I had no idea what I was walking into, and I like to know. I like to know what's happening, and I didn't have a clue. But I knew at the end that I would have something that would be mine.
Yeah.
That I could share with people. You know, it'd be a personal thing that no one will be able to kind of duplicate, because it's me. You know, this is my thing, so it's my, you know. And I think that was a part of the excitement too, that like I think there's so many things out there, like, you know, trainers. You buy trainers and there's like other people have the same thing, but this was something that I was creating to share, which was like I'd never done anything like this before, and that was really exciting. But yeah, so many emotions. But, wonderful. Wonderful experience.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I just love to like remind, like, and highlight that, because I think there can be that misconception of like, oh well, it's all right for them, they were like all excited jumping in, and it's like there's so many things that come up in that moment where you really make that decision. And I love how you explained it, of like, I know I can do this, but then it will get grounded with a level of certainty of like, I'm doing this. Right. And that also then became fire and fuel as well. And the trust, or you know, the reason we don't like break it all down of like, this is what's going to happen, is just because we know how, you know, psychology,
the mind.
Oh my God. Actually,
is that what you expected me to do? What? No.
I'll come back next 10 years.
I think you do it perfectly, because I know if in that first conversation, if you told me, I would have hesitated a lot, and I don't know, you know. But I think, you know, once you're in it, there is no, you can only go forward.
Yes.
So I think that's important for people to be able to realize that you don't have to always feel prepared and know what's happening. You can just trust and go with it.
Absolutely.
It will work out. It does.
No, thank you. There are really some golden nuggets, you know. What else would you love to share? Like, I'm wondering if you could imagine somebody seeing this, that it's maybe in a place that you were, of like, I don't know if I've got the time, I don't really know if we can find the money, I don't really know if like, this is like, what are we gonna do, you know? And I don't know if I can even be visible with this idea. I know it's in my heart, but can I really bring it out there? Like, what advice would you give to somebody that, to support and encourage them in moving their vision forward, and just putting it out there?
I think for anybody, they need to ask themselves one question, really. Like, if it's not you, if you've got this vision, if you're not able to do it, who's going to do it? Because that vision's it's in your mind. You can't give it to somebody else to do, because they're going to mess it up. So it's yours. So you're the best person to do it. And it's just finding a way, because there's always a way. I remember you saying that to me too, like when it comes to the money, I don't know if we got the money. You're like, there's always, you know, you can always find it, and it's true. And I think I found that as the process has gone on. It's just like, how am I gonna, like, how could I, but I'm doing it. So it is possible. And I guess if the fire is burning enough, it will happen. And I think you just have to believe and know deep down that it will. Like, you'll still be able to eat and do all the stuff. You know, you won't have to give up on anything. Which is what I kind of, in my head, I was like, oh gosh, like maybe I'm gonna have to, you know, cut off something. But you don't, like, it does work out. And I think that is just the universe kind of saying, this is what's meant to be going on right now, so just keep doing what you feel to do, you know, what's there. So that's what I would say. Like, whatever it is, believe that it's you that needs to do it, and not the person next door, because they won't do it how you imagine it to be, and just take it from there.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, big nuggets, really good. You know what it sparked to me as well is as remembering, like, you had an idea of the outcome you would like to see in the world,
Yeah.
but you didn't necessarily have the clarity on how that would be achieved or your part in towards that, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't let that stop you, okay, because you was able to be supported to get that clarity by taking that step, right?
Yeah.
And it just came in my mind because I know, you know, sometimes people are like, oh, maybe I'll figure out my idea first. I'll figure out how I'm meant to be showing up in the world with my business first, and then like we'll get started. How did it serve you by not allowing yourself to stay in a space of trying to figure out what awakening our roots would be, you know, what awakening the color lens, you know what I mean? Like, how did you like, how has it served you by not waiting and figuring that stage out first and then being supported to figure that out on the way?
I still feel like I'm on that journey. Like nothing is kind of set, you know, and I think that's okay. Well, I've learned for it to be okay. That's okay. And I think that's just down to individuals, isn't it? Like the different people that I'm going to come in contact with, they're not going to be exactly the same. So that's how I'm going to have to take this journey, like this process. Like, you know, no one's going to, we're all different, and that's beautiful. Like that's a part of it all. But it's about, as a collective, as a you know, as a world, because obviously it is a world vision that I have, that we all kind of see each other for who we are, and not what you think they are, you know. So I think that's the whole kind of, you know, it's not necessarily having, like you said, like the plan of how things are going to be, because that's not really, it's not going to work. It's not going to work for everybody, having that blanket type of way. Because I don't even think, even this process that we've gone through, I don't think I've done things backwards at times. Like I've had to go back, you know, it's not, I'm not gone straight through. So it's okay. So I think, I think it's just having that in mind, whatever it is that you want to see, and, you know, whatever that vision is, keeping that. But don't let that stop you from just working on yourself first, because I think once you start tapping into those things that are whatever it is that's making you want to work on whatever that mission is that you have, however you've got to that point will help you to work out what steps you need to take to get the person that you're going to be working with to get to where you are. So hence why I'm still on the journey. Because it's a lifelong, like my program, it's a lifelong journey, you know. So you're never really, by the time you finish, you're not going to be finished. You're
just getting started.
Exactly that. So
absolutely, and it's the same. It's really the same. And so, you know, I love that transparency about that, because I feel so many people like get caught up in like, I'm going to set up a course and I'm going to work it all out, and then I'll learn to market it, and it just really doesn't work like that, right? Not in the fields that we're in. And it's about, how do you set up a transformational experience that allows that individual difference in it? And so being okay to be just fluid and flexible and rolling with it. And so that's been a real pleasure to work with you and every practitioner that comes through this process, in terms of kind of breaking that mindset of it has to be a certain way. and a right or wrong or good or bad, you know,
Yeah.
like how can we set things up differently? But yeah, so you've done incredible, and I just couldn't, like, you know, I just keep watching you, seeing what you're doing, and cheering you on, right? And I'm just so happy to have you as part of our community and continue to see you soar. So keep going, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to
No problem.
yeah.
It's been wonderful catching up.
Yes, yes, and I'll see you around soon, my dear. All right, take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye.